Hello everyone, welcome to another unboxing video. This time we are going to look into one of the top selling power supply unit, Seasonic Focus GX-850. You could see one of my previous video where I've been connecting this power supply unit to NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060 graphic card and also to liquid cooler NZXT Kraken Z63. This video is about unboxing and connecting all the cables necessary to power your RTX graphic card, your motherboard, your liquid cooler and also your smart device of your PC case. While cutting the protective plastic cover, I would like to mention that I will be mounting this PSU to NZXT 510 Elite PC case, and if you have not seen video of unboxing of that one, open the new tab with the link in top right corner. Let's open the box, and I can mention that in this video I'll be showing how much of wattage you'll need for certain RTX and CPU combination. First artifact is a thank you card mentioning that cable bags are not included as the material has been used for COVID protective masks. Next artifact is the Seasonic giveaway card, and then we have user manual translated to multiple languages. And from documentation point of view we also have the power supply unit quick installation guide. This one is providing guidance on how you can swap your malfunctioned old power supply unit with new Seasonic power supply unit, and we also use it as a guidance on how to connect all the cables to this fully modular power supply unit. And it also includes guidance on how to connect the power cables to your graphic card, which has multiple connectors on it. Next artifact in the box is the plastic sachet with 12 plastic cable ties and with 3 velcro cable ties, so we will be able to do proper cable management in our PC case. Then we have a PSU tester adapter, and guidance how to use it is in user manual. Under the plastic cover we have the PSU unit itself, but before pulling out that one, let's have a look what other accessories we have in the box. First cable included in the box is an AC power cord, in my case with EU wall outlet connector. Then we have a huge plastic bag with multiple cables included, such as motherboard power cable, CPU power cables, PCI Express peripheral cables and SATA peripheral power cables. Then we have another plastic bag with another set of cables, and these seems mainly to be cables with Molex connectors or SATA 3.3 connector. And finally we have the power supply unit itself. Let's remove the protective plastic foam from the bottom side, and also let's pull it out from plastic sachet and we can review the quality of the build. On one side we have a fan, then we have a mesh grill with fanless mode switch, power on button and power connector. Then we have table with AC input and DC output figures, Seasonic logos and then the modular connectors for our cables. Now let's summarize what do we have included in the box. We have power supply unit itself, 2 bags with cables, cable ties, power cord, set of documentation and tester. As I have mentioned, this is fully modular power supply unit, so you can connect only those cables you really need. And for that, let's open the plastic bag with the cables, and very first two I'm pulling out are the CPU power cable and PCI Express power cable. Then we have motherboard power cable, then another PCI Express power cable, and one more CPU power cable, and also Molex to 2 SATA power cable adapter, and one more PCI Express power cable. Now let's open the second plastic bag, and in that one we are going to find SATA power cable with 3 SATA connectors. Then we have Molex power cable with 2 Molex connectors, and one more SATA power cable with 2 SATA connectors. Then we have another Molex power cable with 3 Molex connectors. Then we have SATA power cable with 4 SATA connectors. As you can see, we can really connect multiple SATA peripherals as well as PCI Express peripherals. I'm not going to use all of these as I do not have hard drive with Molex power connector, and for SATA I only need to power up the PC case smart device and liquid cooler pump. Now let me unwrap the motherboard cable. This one has 10 plus 18 pin connectors on one side, which we are going to plug into power supply unit, and on other side it has 24 pin connector which we will need to plug into motherboard. And while I will be connecting male connectors on cables to female connectors on the power supply unit, one thing to note is that the connectors should make a click sound to lock in. So this is how the motherboard cable should be connected to power supply unit, and we can continue with CPU cables. These are very nicely labeled with CPU on one end and PSU on the other end. Let me connect the connectors labeled with PSU to power supply unit, and I'm going to use the top row sockets as I will be routing CPU cables to the top of the motherboard where the CPU power connectors are located. And one more CPU power cable to be connected to the top right CPU socket. My motherboard has 8-pin and 6-pin CPU power connectors, so I need 2 cables from power supply unit. Now let's connect power cables for graphic card. We'll need 1 cable for RTX 3060 with 1 8-pin connector, but for RTX 3060 Ti and higher you will need 2 power cables to be connected. We also need to power up our SATA devices such as PCK Smart Device, Liquid Cooler Pump and possibly also SSD disk, so let's connect the SATA cable with 3 SATA connectors to the power supply unit. And to summarize cable positions, I have SATA power cable on bottom left, motherboard connectors on top left, CPU power cables on top right and GPU power cables on bottom right. Now let's mount the power supply unit into the PC case, and I'm building PC with NZXT 510 Elite, and as you can see it has a very nice shelf where I can just slide in the power supply unit. For cable management preparation, I'll prepare the CPU power cables to be routed through the hole above the motherboard. GPU power cables I'll leave at the bottom, and again it depends if your GPU has 2 connectors or only 1 8-pin connector, and motherboard power cable I'll route through the middle tunnel of the PC case. In the sachet with cable ties included in the Seasonic Focus GX-850 there is also a small plastic bag with set of screws to mount the Seasonic power supply unit into the PC case. So let me just align the power supply unit and the screw holes with threads in them to match the holes on the NZXT 510 Elite PC case, and I can just speed up the video with fastening the screws. For this I need the crosshead screwdriver to fasten it properly to avoid any kind of vibrations. There is a fan control button on Seasonic Focus GX-850, and by pressing it will disable fanless mode, and leaving it in unpushed position will keep the fanless mode. Now we can start connecting our cables. I have already mentioned that CPU power connectors need to be routed to the top of the motherboard, so let's use the top hole on the back of the PC case. And we can also connect our Seasonic Focus GX to SATA devices. One will be smart device of the PC case and second will be a liquid cooler pump. We also need to connect 24-pin power connector into the motherboard. There will be only one slot where it fits, so you can't make mistake plugging it into different connector. And then we need to connect our CPU power connectors. My motherboard has 8-pin and 4-pin slots, so I'll be connecting 3 4-pin connectors into it. Let's make sure all makes a click sound when plugging them in. And if you are interested to see what motherboard, CPU and memory I'm using with combination to RTX 3060, hit the subscribe button to do not miss the video on that one. In the meantime, let's check which power supply unit should we use for RTX 3060 graphic card. The table from Nvidia suggests that 650 watts power supply unit would be sufficient, but I'm thinking that soon we are going to have RTX 4060, or possibly I'll be upgrading to RTX 3070 or RTX 3080, and for that 850 watts power supply unit is needed. Now let's push the fan control button next to the power switch, and pushing it is actually disabling the fanless mode, and the fan will be spinning all the time regardless of the temperature or load. And when I push the button again to set it to the default position, it will enable the fanless mode, which means the fan in the power supply will not spin when the power supply is at lower loads. Let's install the dust filter, and I can share my final thoughts about Seasonic Focus 850 watts power supply unit. I really like the modularity and flexibility which this PSU gives me for all my peripherals, as well as it gives me an option for an upgrade in future. I like the fanless mode until 30% of load. It also supports multi-GPU setup. It is 80 plus gold certified with 90% efficiency, with gold plated connectors and 10 years of warranty. And until my next video, cheers!